Hi, my name is Jörg, which is German for George, here at Find a Job in Germany in Berlin. Here is one frequently asked question from our coaching program. Hi team, I've just gotten my Jobseeker visa approved. Should I make use of it and come to Germany? Or it can also be phrased a little differently like this. Hi team, I'm actually going to wait until my Jobseeker visa, which I have applied for, is approved, and then come to Germany to apply for jobs on site. Isn't that better anyway? What do you guys think? People, here's my point of view on Jobseeker visas. For your information, Jobseeker visas have been introduced by the German government a couple of years ago for professionals to allow job seekers from outside Europe to come to Germany for, and that's the period, 6 months, and look for a job on the ground. So that's the idea behind it. You don't need an employment contract. You can just come and you look for it here. Therefore, Jobseeker visa can be an effective way to find a work in Germany. And we get that question a lot, whether it's worth a try. And now after COVID, applications for these visas are picking up again. So yeah, if you ask me, is it worth a try? Well, a lot of things in life are worth a try. And it really depends on each and everyone's personal situation. So I cannot really give a one-size-fits-all response, but still, if you ask me personally, I'm not a huge fan. Yes, it can work, and it has for many, but here's why I'm a little reluctant. First, the pros. I want to give you the good arguments. At first sight, coming here to apply for jobs on site makes sense. I mean, you're in Germany. You're literally on the ground. You can network in person. You can go to fairs. You can travel to companies, and along with your status, chances of getting calls may be higher. And yes, it's surely worked for people who I also personally know exactly because of these reasons. However, and this is really important, that's why I want to share this, here's my first con and why I'm still reluctant. And this may also be because of the current situation. I'm going to come and talk about that later. In practice, the hiring process itself isn't actually faster just because you're in Germany. Hiring here in general takes longer than what you may be used to. And I know folks from India, from our coaching program, for example, who are used to, 2 interview rounds that take place within 14 days. But that's not really how it works here. Companies will still take their average of 3 to 4 weeks of net hiring time. So that doesn't even include your waiting time from the day you apply until you hear back from them for a first round. So take that into consideration. I've had cases in which our coach, she said, hey, I just received an invite for a call from an application that I did 4 weeks ago. Really, that's because different people have different working hours. Maybe there is also seasonal changes like summer vacations. It can really take time. And this is also why one of our personal coaching program questions is really, hi, the team hasn't gotten back to me with any feedback on my coding challenge yet. Should I do a follow-up today? I get that question very, very often because the hiring process, again, it takes more time. The Germans are a little more diligent maybe they're a little slow like that. But German companies might produce fast cars, but really when it comes to hiring, they're not the fastest. And that is what you have to know when it comes to planning your Jobseeker visa. That again means you have to be able to cover your expenses. And I would say for at least 3 months. I mean, true, you need to demonstrate funds for 6 months to get the visa in the first place. I know that's the legal requirement. But I really know from experience that still too many candidates count on it. That means finding the job, working out somehow much faster, starting their new job way earlier. That's what they're counting on. That's not what happens. As time passes by, they start to worry, which again makes it harder for them to focus on getting and passing the interviews. And then eventually they also book a call with us and they're really desperate saying, guys, I need your help. I've been in Germany now for 4 months and I haven't gotten enough interview calls. And so I'm kind of freaking out. So you don't want to end up in that kind of situation. Now, there's always a chance that we can help you, of course, but honestly, you don't want to end up in that situation in the first place, really. And here comes my second con argument, which is something many of you may not be aware of until you're actually here or unless you're here. We're having kind of a catch-22 situation in Germany. So to put it differently, there's kind of a paradox here. that creates a little bit of a dilemma for job seekers from abroad and for companies also. You are legally not allowed to work over 10 hours per week until your visa is transformed into a work permit by the competent immigration's office. But currently, German immigration is a mess. The public authorities are a mess. And you may be wondering why. Well, because of the refugees from the Ukraine that Germany is taking up. And of course, there's understaffed teams still from COVID. Public servants at immigration offices are simply overworked, and they can only take on extremely urgent cases. Getting an appointment there to actually speak your case can be as big of a challenge at the moment as getting a job itself. It's really ridiculous, and it's gonna change. It's gonna get better, but that's the current situation. So it's really something you need to know. Somebody from our coaching program actually literally flew back to Bangalore because it was faster for her to get an appointment at the German consulate there to apply than, for her blue card, rather than get her visa transformed here in Germany after getting the offer by the local immigration's office in Berlin, because she was here in Germany already. So that is really something that you need to know. Here is my conclusion for you. Don't get me wrong, feel free to try. But if you decide to go for a job seeker visa, you need to strategize before you come here. There is no way around that. So plan your time thoroughly. You need to be able to make informed decisions when you're here. You need to be able to really know what you're going to do when, what your deadlines are, to have a real plan in place. Make every day count. Be persistent from the time of your arrival when you set foot on German soil, so to speak. And the way that we do it at Find a Job in Germany is that you can come to Germany for your job seeker visa, but you don't come unprepared to face a market that you don't know. So we've had cases, successful ones already, where you sign up with us before you get on the plane to make sure that you are on the safe side, okay? Which brings me, of course, to our Find a Job in Germany coaching program. If you're interested, that's where we help you find a job in Germany in tech and IT. If that sounds interesting to you, you can go ahead and watch the video training where you find the link right below this video. Watch the video training fully to understand how we work exactly, because when we call you after you booked your Get to Know call with us, we're going to ask you a couple of questions to check that you've really watched it in full. We're getting a lot of requests. That's why we're doing this. And anyway, we're looking forward to meeting you. All the best and see you soon.